Okay, welcome back. This is part 4, and this is where we're going to talk about how to create a PDF. A PDF is a portable document format that will then be submitted to Canvas for grading for this portion of these tutorials. So really I'm not concerned necessarily about what you have in your screen, but that you went through and tried some of the tools, or say all the tools that you see here that we went through. So I want to be able to see that you were doing some things. So what I want you to do is, after you work through all the tutorial pieces and you finished up and you're ready to print, what you'll do is you come, zoom out on your page here so you can see the whole page, because we're going to print right here from model space. So get as much of this in the viewable space. If you want to take and move some stuff around, let's just say you take this whole batch of stuff here, and we're just going to take and move it so that you can see that, oh yeah, well, we were playing around with copying, and you want to be able to zoom it in a little bit so it's better arranged. You could do that. But just want to see that you have some dimensions and some of the other features that I want to see. All right, so what we'll do here, and take a look in the rubric. I'll have some of that stuff listed out there. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab the big red A, come down to the word print, slide over, and then go up to the word plot and left click. With this, now we'll start coming down through the plot dialog. The page setup, we're going to keep that as none. But when it says printer plotter, this is where we're going to change some things, because we're not printing to an actual unit. We are printing to the Adobe PDF printer. Okay, so we'll create a digital copy. With that, it sets us up as the letter being the 8.5 by 11 size sheet of paper. That works out great. If you pull this down, and let's say that we're going to actually go to the 11 by 17, which would be an ANSI B size sheet. Do we have that in here? There's the ARC B, ANSI D, 11 by 17 is right here. We could go to an 11 by 17, or we can just keep this as an ANSI A, which would be letter. So go ahead and keep that at letter. Then we'll go plot area. What to plot? We're not doing a display. We're going to come down and do a window. All right, so from here, I'm going to click on window. And now I'm going to just draw a window. I'm going to do a left click and then pull across what I want to actually be printed, and then left click again. That's my window. Make sure it's fit to paper, all right, so that scale's not going to be an issue. We'll be talking about scale later. And then hit preview. Always, always, always hit preview. This is what's going to print, okay? Now, you can zoom in, you can zoom out, but this is what is going to print, all right? So you want to try and frame this the best you can so that you can see as much detail. So you're going to be creating two PDFs. One's going to be an overall shot of the screen. That's great. And we can go ahead and print that. And now it's going to ask you, where are we going to save this? Well, I'm going to take this to my desktop. Again, I'm going to take this to that CAD folder that we made in the previous video for saving. And we'll go ahead, and it's called Getting Started. And this is Model 1 with my name. Everything's perfect. Go to the CAD folder, and then hit Save. All right. So it's creating a PDF. And then I've already set up my PDF to open automatically. So my PDF opens up here, and I can see the particular object. So to turn this so I can actually see this correctly, because all my dimensions are sideways, PDF has this little pull down, or I should say pull over, here on the left hand side. And then you come up to the top of the screen, go to your thumbnails. You can click on the thumbnail, it highlights, and then you can turn it with these little arrows. All right, so you can rotate this thing around so you can see what you're doing here. You can close the thumbnails, pan down, zoom in, and then you can see and look at what's happening. Okay, so this is great. This is your first drawing here in AutoCAD. Now let's go back and let's get a detail shot. All right, so I'm going to then come back into AutoCAD. I'm going to zoom in here on some of these dimensions, and we're going to do a detail shot. We're going to do a big A, come down to print, slide over, go to none, Adobe PDF, all the same stuff. Preview. Nope, don't want preview. Don't like that. Let's go back to this X, because I didn't even pull a window yet. So we're going to do window. And then I'm going to pull this window directly across this stuff right here. Click, preview, and now you can see it a little closer, a little nicer. That's exactly what I'm looking to do. Hit plot, and it goes through. This is getting started now. Charts model. I'm going to then go ahead and make a 2 after this, so I know the distinction between the two. Making sure it's going PC, desktop, CAD. It's all looking good. Hit save. All right, all's well there. And then I'm going to do the same thing here, and I'm going to turn it. All right, great. So I have two drawings here. If you have two drawings, I'm going to tell you to go ahead and bind these two drawings together. Okay, so to bind two PDFs together, what you're going to do is come over here to what says Combine Files. Surprise, surprise. Click on Combine Files. And it's going to say Add Files. Add Open Files. Well, how about that? Add the open files. There they are. Add files. These are the ones that I want, right? So I want this one and I want this one. All right, so we're just going to say, give me these two, and then combine. Fairly simple. And now when you actually then go back to your thumbs over here, thumbnail images, you can see you have two pages in your file. There's one here, one here. You can pan up, pan down, and they go back and forth. So save this new file. Right now it's called Binder1. You don't want to call it Binder1. We want to do a save as, and we will call this thing in the CAD folder, and we're going to call this Getting Started Eslacharowitz Model, and you can say both pages. Whoops, it took it. I hit enter by accident, but it's named Getting Started. It's good. So now I'm ready to take this file and submit this to finish up the tutorial Getting Started assignment in AutoCAD. All right, I hope this helps you work your way through how to do this and learn some skills and start diving into AutoCAD.